Hey guys, I wanted to go over really quickly my K-bar knife. I know there's a lot of reviews out there for this particular knife and how great it is, pros, cons. That's not really what I'm getting at today. What I want to go over is some modifications that I've made to the sheath that comes with it. First things first, I put a little bit of a bungee cord up here. Kind of holds it apart whenever you draw the knife out. Got this idea from Hedgehog Leather Works. Paul Scheider's a really great guy, makes some really good sheaths. Unfortunately, for those of us out there that don't have the money to throw down on a nice sheath like what he has, we can make what we have, work a little bit better. So for starters, I put a little piece of bungee cord here at the snaps. So when you snap them off, they kind of move out of the way. They don't move out of the way as well as his do, but they move out of the way rather well and let you, draw that knife out of there without cutting your bands. Now this is the standard sheath that comes with it. It's a very thin leather, but it holds up real well. I've had mine close to a year now and it still is working fine. First thing that I have on here, and I'm going to add things as we go. First thing I have on here is a 12-foot section of paracord, and it's simply just easily wrapped. I have a strand that comes down and then it's wrapped over it all the way down, and then I tie it off in the back. It's 12 feet of paracord, which in any survival situation is plenty to make it. One thing I want to go over is a neat idea that we're going to start with. I have a fire steel. It is a Light My Fire Scout Mini. I'll eventually upgrade to an Army, or possibly even go to goinggear.com and buy just a ferro rod. But what I've done, and this is to all of the pieces that I will put on here, is I have taken a piece of 1/4 inch bungee cord. I made a loop that was suitable. Generally speaking, you want it to pass your object by about a 1/2 inch to an inch, or 3/4 inch to an inch right here. You want your object to pass it by that much. But I've attached, or I've just sewn it all together using some thread to put it together. You got your bungee cord right there. What you can do with this is you would simply put it on your sheath, bring the bungee cord around the back, and snap it back over. Now I know a lot of you are probably looking at this going, that's a pretty neat idea, but really how well does it really work in the real world? Well, I've used it quite a lot. Shaking it around, bounced up and down, went into the woods with it quite a bit, never lost it. But you can see I can sit here, I can smack at this thing for a while before I finally pop that darn thing off. And that's me purposefully trying to knock it off. Now, because this is a right-hand sheath for a right-hand draw, what I have done is whenever I put this on, I bring it around so that it's actually, if I'm going forward through brush, I'm actually pushing this piece of bungee cord onto the object it's strapped to. That means it's not going to come off as easy. And if this little piece that's hanging off right here snags something, it's simply just going to kind of pull on it. And that's it. That's all it's going to do. It's not going to, it's not going to come off easily. And if you need your fire steel, simply just grab it, pull it around, it comes right off. Piece of cake. Now that I've explained the purpose and the idea, I want to show you a couple of things that you can actually use this on. So, for starters, a fire steel. And I can use my knife itself to strike the fire steel. I don't need a steel striker. I guess I could get one if I wanted, but I don't need one. This is a small case knife. It's a cheap $10 case knife. It's got really good steel, and this thing throws a spark wonderfully. I'm actually very amazed at that. Now, myself, I feel that going into any kind of outdoor situation, you ought to carry two types of knives. A smaller knife for finer edge work, for making, say, hooks or cutting spikes for a type of trap. maybe some really close hand work to make figure 4 traps. You obviously have to get something with a lanyard hole, because once again you're adding that bungee cord onto it for attachment purposes. There you go, you've got that extra space right there on your bungee cord. So it's a small case knife made out of plastic. It's decent. Don't know how good it is or how well it's going to last, but it's decent. I simply just put there right under my fire steel. Once again, bring that bungee cord right on around, and there you go, attached. So you can see it wraps around the bungee cord, or around the sheath, and attaches back on. Now, all of these can be compromised if you simply just push the tool that you have through the bungee. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen easily, if even at all, in a wilderness setting. So finally, what I want to go over is this is just a simple pocket kit. Pocket kit. It's an Exotac match cap. You can put matches in there, or that's what it's meant to put matches in. I just keep a simple survival kit in there. Got some stuff, some fire starting materials, a sewing kit, some fishing line, some wire with 2 nails on either end. It's just a simple survival kit, nothing fancy. Basically the things that you would normally find in one of those little survival kits that go in the handle of a knife, you know, and it screws off. It's not something I carry around a lot, but it's just an idea, kind of to show you guys, you know, kind of to show some things that you can do with your knife sheath. Take your cheap knife sheath and turn it into something that'll work. You can do this on Kydex sheaths, you can do this on leather sheaths, you can even, with a little bit of modification, do it on Cordova sheath, but I wouldn't recommend it for those kind of sheaths. In that situation, you can easily sew on, you know, some extra pockets and things for this stuff to go into. So, there's just an idea of how to make a mundane, cheap sheath something just a little bit better. So, Jason the Phone Boy, hope that you like this video. Add some comments, let me know what you think. Do you think it would work? Would it not work? I do suggest you give it a try. You never know, you might like this idea.